guys got a little bit of free time to come hang out and talk about fragrances with me. Earlier today, I had a really nice live stream this morning, chilling with everybody, talking about life, talking about faith, and so on and so forth. But at this particular moment, I just figured I'd come chill with you guys as per usual and have a little hangout time. I don't know if you guys are a little free, but no particular general subject in mind as far as fragrances are concerned. Just here to chill. Answer your questions should you have any. You know what? This is actually a really nice fragrance. Supremacy Collector's Edition. This is supposed to be, for anybody who doesn't know, Supremacy Collector's Edition is supposed to be a take on the Acreta Ventus Absolute. And I gotta say, I actually really like this. If I didn't already have on something else right now, I'd put this on. This is a really nice fragrance. I'm actually glad that I purchased this recently. The apple note that they put in this is beautiful. I like the way that they did a little bit of a take on it because obviously everybody already knows about things like Club de Nuit Intense Man, but Afnon's really stepping it up because I was not a big fan of 9 p.m., but they did a mastercraft job at making the Supremacy Legacy Collector's Edition. But yeah, as per usual, like I said, please, by all means, you guys pop through if you get the chance to do so. I know you guys get a little busy on a Friday night, and I'm also testing out like different time frames to actually do streams and stuff like that and just kind of see what works and what doesn't. So if anybody wants to come through, ask questions about fragrances, you're more than welcome to do so. Let's just hang and shoot the breeze and have a little bit of fun. But again, if you don't know, my name is Andrew, aka Douglas Moon Fragrance, and I'm just here to hang out. Let's see if we can't get anybody in here. Like I said, I know it's Friday night, so you guys are having a good time. If anybody ever watches these back, by the way, I'm not sure if people do, but if anybody actually comes through these streams after they've actually posted, you guys are more than welcome to like fast forward through stuff if that ever happens. But yes, as you can see, I'm a fragrance YouTuber. An evening stream. That's right, that one guy. What's going on, buddy? Thank you for being here. It's Friday night. I figured we've got nothing else to do this evening. My wife was like super tired, so she wanted to go ahead and get her little sleepy Rooney. So I was like, I'll come hang out. Everybody do me a little stream. I even decided not to wear a hat this time. And in this poor lighting, I let my bald head come out. Not much, bro. How's it going? It's going really good. This morning, I actually had a really nice time doing a stream, just basically hanging out, talking about life, talking about faith and sobriety and stuff like that with some people who are going through some stuff. So I decided to come hang out and have a nice time this evening, just straight up do some fragrance. Clarissa, thanks for popping through. I actually have 147 at this moment. There was 2 more that I was thinking about picking up recently. I don't know if anybody's heard. Obviously, people probably heard of aromatics, but I thought about getting the aromatics Xandal, something like that. And then also there's another Memento, but I decided ultimately I'm going to wait for now and just put pause on it. But that's awesome. I missed the morning stream. Hey, no problem. I'm just glad you're here, buddy. Alex W., why'd you shave your head? So, long story short, I've got really bad eczema, and basically my head was getting excessively dry under my hair because of the oil. So pretty much my dermatologist recommended give it a little cut. So I was like, yeah, I can do that. Mr. Perfumes, good evening, Rufus. Thank you for being here. Going to bed, it's 1:45 a.m. Well, hey, bonne nuit. I hope you have fantastic rest. Get you some sleep. Jacob, thanks for popping through. Nice to see you. Like I said, as per usual, this is just Fragrance Fridays. I'm hanging out. Well, it's not usual. It's the first time I've actually done a Fragrance Friday, but happy to hang out with you guys. Please, if anybody's new, have no issues. Don't be shy to come through and ask any fragrance questions. I know that unlike your other fragrance YouTubers and TikTokers, I'm not a fancy dressed fella because that's just not who I am. But I do like to collect fragrances and talk to you guys. But Ola, well, that's actually a fun name. Ola. My fiance wants to know what you drinking about Del Marley. I don't know what you're trying to say there, buddy. What's up, Jason? Good to see you. Your scent of the day is Dior Eau Sauvage Parfum. Fantastic choice. Oh, Clarissa, you said, what do I think about Sauvage, I think is what you said. I'm sorry. A couple of things came in at once and I didn't really see it. So Sauvage by Dior, to be completely honest with you, it is absolutely one of my favorites. It's a classic. I especially love, I got the Eau de Toilette. I've obviously got Elixir, but the Parfum edition, personally my favorite. I like the blend. I like the smell of it overall. It's a fantastic choice. So if your fiance, if he's thinking about getting it, cannot go wrong. Do I have a scratch and sniff feature? Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't implemented it just yet, but I will encourage you, scratch your screen, do it gently. I'm not responsible if something happens to your screen. It's your problem. Let's scratch your screen, give it a little smell, see if you can smell anything, and let me know what you think. Do you have Invictus? No, I personally don't. I'm actually not a giant fan of Invictus. As a matter of fact, I've given away a couple of the Paco Rabannes that I have. The only one I decided to keep around was the actual Paco Rabanne 1 Million Elixir. So Invictus is a nice fragrance. It's just not personally necessarily my style. And thanks for asking. And Jacob, yeah, what's your favorite? It's the year 2019 and it's not 2025. Yes. Let's see here. So what's my favorite out of all? Thanks for asking. I would say personally, my absolute favorite fragrance in the world is basically this one. Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Mal Le Parfum. I love it. It's beautiful iris. It is a wonderful lavender iris feel, which Homage's Reflection is one of my favorite iris fragrance, but this one in particular kind of just really does it for me. It's a classic. I love it. As well as Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Mal Elixir. And then underneath there is Xerjoff's 40 Knots and Xerjoff's Naxos. You cannot go wrong with Xerjoff's Naxos. It's one of the greatest fragrances I've personally ever smelled. So those are some of my favorites. Oud Silk Mood by Maison Francis Kirkjohn. Let's see here. What do you think is a good mid-price everyday fragrance? Jacob, thanks for asking. By the way, just want to throw this out there. Again, as you can see, I love fragrances. I've gotten my nose on quite a many myself, but there's a lot more out there that I've tried and haven't done reviews for yet. But I do not want you to think that I know everything. So if you ever comment and I don't know something about a particular fragrance, if one of my buddies here in the comments does, please go ahead and feel free to help everybody out. Give your thoughts. With that being said, what do you think is a good mid-price everyday fragrance? I think if I had to be honest with you, mid-price, I am wanting you to clarify what you think of as mid-price, because for me personally, I would say mid-price is around the $80 to $140 range. I say that because if you are basing it around like niche perfumeries, which go into the 300s and so forth. So for me personally, I'm definitely going to keep it at, like I said, Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Mal Le Parfum, Le Mal Elixir, Dolce & Gabban's Light Blue, Versace Eros Parfum. I'm going to send you this way, the Paradise Garden edition of Le Beau Le Parfum. Well, not, sorry, Le Beau Paradise Garden. That's definitely fantastic. Coconut water, aquatic notes, and sandalwood. If you want to go a little bit on the cheaper end, obviously, things like Vanilla Dunes by Hot Lodge, fantastic choices. If you guys ever need me to slow down, I always get excited, especially when I come hang out with y'all. So sorry about that. But please have no problem re-asking questions if you need me to. What do I think about Kuros? I've never smelled Kuros, but thank you. Two Jacobs. Nothing wrong with having two Jacobs up in this bad boy. Sorry, Pai Prancha. I don't know what you said. I apologize. Recommendations for a patchouli forward fragrance. That's a little tough because to be honest with you, patchouli as a main primary driving note is not something that I'm honestly a very big fan of. So I would say that I'm going to yield to the chat for this one. If any of my buddies here is able to help out and give my friend here some recommendations for your personal favorite patchouli scents. I have fragrances I love that have patchouli writing underneath, but very minimally as a note because it's just something I'm not a big fan of. So if there's times where I'm not a huge fan of a note profile, I don't really want to give recommendations because I think I can't objectively send you in the right direction. So again, anybody here can help my buddy out, please feel free to do so. Do you like Fougere fragrances? If so, what's your thoughts? Not a huge fancy parsive. You're absolutely correct. Something like Carlisle is a decent enough choice. It's kind of a patchouli feel to it. It definitely has what a lot of people think of as an apple pie feel, which is interesting because personally, Oud John is kind of what steers me in that direction. Carlisle is really nice. It's just not my personal style. It's a very rich, smoky fragrance, but not quite in the way that I get kicked, which is odd because Red Tobacco by Mancera actually brings me a lot of joy. But let's see here. Crazy Adventures. Hello, John Hawer. Thank you for coming through. But yeah, Jason. So as far as Fougere fragrances, they're not particularly my taste as well. So patchouli, Fougere, strong oud fragrances are not really my style. So stuff along that's just like overly sweet things. I know again it sounds silly because I love Le Mal Elixir, which is a very honey tonka bean sweet fragrance, but there's redeemable factors to it that make it a little bit more relaxed. Whereas if you take something like Angel Share by Killian, that's too much for me. It's too bright and a little too sweet. Hey, King Sword, thank you for popping through. How am I? I will say I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing? I wasn't doing so hot this morning, to be honest with you. I was going through a little bit of a rough patch because of all the family stuff that's going on. But it was cool because I took some time to do a live stream and honestly got to talk for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half with some neat people just about life, about faith. And it was really beautiful. I love getting to talk to you guys out there, just any old random folks about whatever. And those personal experiences really bring me a lot and enrichment, I would say. But how are you doing tonight, my buddy? And I cannot stress enough how much I love seeing your screen name. But yeah, Anybody popping through, anybody who might be new here, please, by all means, my name is Andrew, aka Douglas Moon. That's my middle name, and you are more than welcome to ask fragrances about questions should you want to. Let me try this out, by the way. I don't know if it'll help. Let me see if this light actually helps at all. If it makes it look strange on the camera, please let me know. If you guys like it, cool, I'll keep it this way. If not, hey, please let me know and I'll get out of here. What's your opinion of Creed Aventus longevity? Gonna be completely honest with you. Creed Aventus longevity is honestly not really good at all. I mean, it used to be at one point in time before reformulations and buyouts, but at this point, the whole entire house of Creed is kind of known for fading out overall its performance. Then again, I mean, there's also a lot of hyped up dupes and cheapies that don't perform that well either. But yeah, Creed definitely still has fantastic smells. Milsim Imperial, I love, as you see, Silver Mountain Water, but the money that you pay versus the performance, it's just not there. As far, oh, I'm good, took my family to eat some fajitas. Heck yeah, I love me some good fajitas, but hey, I appreciate you. It's all good. I'm doing a lot better now. As far as Gabriel Castro asking about Baccarat, I don't have the Eau de Parfum. I've got the extracted parfum of Baccarat Rouge 540. I will say that it actually is a really nice fragrance, very beautiful, very excellently constructed, monstrous performance. On the other hand, my wife is actually the one who, from the moment that I got it, started wearing it. So I kind of think about her, and I never personally wear it because it's more her direction. What's your thoughts on Hautane by PDM? I see you have Side Effect. Talk, please, about scent and performance. Absolutely. I will certainly do that for you. Real quick, just want to clarify one more time if somebody could tell me. I'll turn the flashlight back off if you guys would like me to. I don't have professional lighting just yet. I just haven't thought to do so for these streams. But if you could, if the flashlight's bothering you, I think it looks like there's doing some type of strange like waves motion on the screen. So if it bothers you guys, I'd be more than happy to cut it back off. So to go back around and answer you, you talked about Hautane by Parfums de Marly, and also my buddy here is talking about Initio's Side Effect. So just to let this be known, starting off with Initio's Side Effect, this is one of my wife's top 10 favorite fragrances that I have. It's not one of mine. I really like it, but it's not in my top 10 list. But it is excellent. It's just a very sweetened rum, boozy, like tobacco leaf, pure sweet tobacco leaf with a beautiful sweetened rum, kind of is the primary notes that you actually get. And it stays as well very consistent. If you guys know what one-noted fragrance are, it doesn't mean there's only just one note, but sometimes that's a terminology that means that as you wear it, it stays very consistent to the profile as how it starts instead of breaking down in composition. But I will say, it's overly expensive, so I don't really recommend this to people for the most part unless you can spare so responsibly. In and of itself, though, the performance on this is massive. This is one of those few fragrances that actually does like a lot of Initio fragrances, but specifically like Paragon as a freshie or this one in particular. You are going to get all-day performance out of it, but again, it's excessively expensive, and I am a bit of a whiny baby when it comes to spending too much money on something, especially for how much you get. Linear. That's right. That is exactly what I was trying to remember. Very linear and stays similar. So that's what. Thanks. What about the gold bottle? It looks like Jean-Paul Gaultier. Yes, it is. But I will answer my buddy here if you're still around about Hautane. You know, recently I did a video comparing Oud for Greatness to Hautane by Parfums de Marly. And for anybody who doesn't know, these are owned by the same fragrance sister house, basically. Or these are sister houses owned by the same parent company at this point. And I used to think during my original comparison, and I want you to understand, people's tastes, people's feelings and profiles are subject to shift at times. That is what happened with me with these guys, because in my review that I filmed, I kind of film reviews like a month ahead of time. I film a lot in one day. When I did that originally, I said that I think I would prefer Hautane over Oud for Greatness, especially because I will say what you get price-wise versus the size of the bottle, you definitely get more for your value. But in and of itself, this one is a little bit sweeter, and Oud for Greatness, they're almost the same composition, but this one has a little bit more youthful, but yet powerful longevity to it, whereas this one's a little bit more on the mature side overall. Not bad, though. Not bad. But yeah, they definitely are made by the same person, I believe. At least, like I said, known by the same parent house. But I think at this point, I kind of recommend Oud for Greatness overall, even though not long ago I was a little bit opposite. But Hautane's a nice fragrance. It's just... And unfortunately, Parfums de Marly's are, as a lot of people know, just like with Creeds, they're not the best performers in the entire universe these days. He also did Oud Maracuja. Heck yeah, I do enjoy Oud Maracuja. Evening, Mohammed. I see the hair is coming along. Yeah, it's growing just a tiny bit. Gabrielle, you asked me a little bit earlier about. Hold on just a second. Let me make sure I'm keeping up with you. I always like to answer everybody the best that I can. Sorry for getting all up in it like an old man taking a creepy selfie. So the gold bottle, you're absolutely correct. Right here, I've got one of my, this is tied as one of my favorite fragrances in the world. This is Paul Gaultier's Le Mal Elixir, and this is Paul Gaultier's Le Mal Elixir Absolute. So this one right here, I prefer more. This one's the newest edition. I guess some would say this is like a flanker, but basically at the end of the day, this is like same construct, but with things like plum added to it. It's nice. A lot of people, including like somebody I really look up to, like Fragmental, Chris from Fragmental, said he sees this as a bit more of a mature profile. To me personally, when my nose is on this, this actually lends a little bit more of a clay feel going on underneath it, like modeling clay mixed with that plum profile because of the tonka bean and the blending. I see this as a little bit more youthful, actually, and I like it less. I don't actually ever think to grab for this one. The original is my absolute favorite, personally. But they are, I would say the new Absolute is probably roughly about maybe, I'd say like a 8.2 out of 10, whereas I give the original a 10 out of 10, definitely. But that's just me. Everybody's different. Have you put your nose on Castely by Parfums de Marly yet? I haven't, because my sample is coming from Parfums de Marly. They're shipping it from France. When they were originally going, they did I don't know if it was limited time or if you can still do it. But when they were first announced, like officially, even though it had already leaked, when they first did an official announce of Castely by Parfums de Marly, they were sending out samples to people. Not like me, because I'm a YouTuber, like to anybody. All you had to do was put your information in. So I did that about a week and a half or so ago. So it's on the way. I look forward to it, but at the same time, I can honestly say that the note profile that I see for it, it's already not really my style, but I'm sure I'll probably enjoy the composition of it. So definitely maybe Club de Nuit limited edition parfum. Please don't waste your money on Aventus. Yeah, absolutely. You don't need to get Aventus at this point because performance-wise, whether you want like a sweet lemon balm type of woodsy feel, you can get Versace Eros Energy. If you want like that really dense Creed Aventus vibe overall, whether you go for a more youthful appeal like Hawas Black, or you go for Club de Nuit Intense Man. I actually like the pure parfum instead of the special edition parfum, but that's just me personally. But anyway, you know what? To be honest with you, I think I don't even like the light. It's not really helpful in the end of the day. But yeah, to anybody stopping through who's not ever been here before, I'm Andrew Douglas, aka Douglas Moon Fragrance, and these are my fragrance collection thus far. Always ready to grow a little bit more, but you guys are more than welcome to come through, ask questions of any kind. Don't be shy. If you need me to slow down, if you need me to repeat myself, please, by all means, don't hesitate to ask, because I'm nobody special, just a guy who loves fragrances and likes hanging out with you guys and get to know you. So please, by all means, anything you guys want to know, I'm happy to answer. I definitely think I might end up wearing this tomorrow. This is so excellently done. Like I said, the collector's edition parfum is really nice, or the limited edition, but this pure parfum edition has got to be my absolute favorite. I don't like the EDT. I'm also not the biggest fan of the Eau de Parfum. It's nice, but there's something about it literally does carry almost like a lemon pledge vibe. Something about this parfum edition is more mature and dense and rich, and I just overall find this one to be absolutely fantastic. Get up to much after your stream earlier. By the way, that's so funny. Thank you for coming through, by the way. Anyways, I appreciate you. So basically after my stream earlier, I did my Bible study time, which is fantastic, honestly. I did my Bible and early church history studies, which is very dense. So an actual biblical study, early church history studies, early Christianities and early Judaism in the late Bronze Age, as well as my biblical archaeology studies covering the early to mid-late Bronze Age. And let me tell you something. That is a lot of information, and it is hard to work your way through at times and not feel like you're starting to blur information together. But very exciting if you like history and things along those lines and religious histories. Parfum Limited Edition is great. Yeah, it is. Like I said, it's fantastic, but just this one personally is a little bit more my style, but they're very similar. Just there's something a little bit different about the blend overall. It's been in the 50s and overcast. Past few days in Ohio, I've really been wearing oud wood and green Irish tweed on days like these. Do you have any rainy day cool fragrances? Actually, I do. So one of my personal favorites is definitely, I like the Club de Nuit Sillage or the Silver Mountain Water, because even though a lot of people will think maybe summertime or maybe more spring because of the melon and the green tea notes, to me, this is maybe more nostalgic than anything because of a childhood experience with like a shampoo my mom used to have. Which again, is too much to get into as to why that would make me think of rainy days. but something about those green tea notes blended with the melon, to me personally, kind of gives me that feel. Something in the same vein is Tom Ford's Ombre Leather Parfum. This is also in my top 10, by the way. This one right here most definitely is something I think is a fantastic rainy day choice. I don't like this fragrance personally, but I think that if you're into something a little bit more dark, rich, and smoky, mysterious, don't get me wrong, I love smoky fragrances, but if you're into something a little bit more dark and mysterious, I would say Tom Ford's Noir Extreme. Probably not the parfum. I definitely prefer the eau de parfum. Sorry, I think that would be a really good rainy day. But your personal choices of Green Irish Tweed and Oud Wood, very fantastic. You've got great taste, my friend. Thoughts on YSL Le Parfum 2025? To be honest with you, Sam, I actually enjoy it. It's not something I would ever buy myself. I do have a sample bottle of it down below. I've got a little traveling thing to do a review on, but it isn't really for me. My wife likes it, but she as well gets a good vibe for certain. This isn't really a bubblegummy fragrance like Ultra Male, but I do see it in that kind of vein. It's just certain fragrance styles are a little too youthful for me, which is silly for me to say because technically speaking, something like 1 Million Elixir kind of comes off that way to a lot of people, even though it is like ambery damask rose with vanilla profile. But things like this kind of have a youthful feel to them because of the sweetness. But YSL series, for the most part, isn't really for me, just because. Thank you. I appreciate that. Initio side effect or Initio high frequency? I can say you can go either way. My personal opinion, I would go side effect, but it's just a little bit more my style. But high frequency is a very nice fragrance. So just one more time, to anybody who's new here, who's never watched my channel before, I'm not sponsored by anyone. I don't get sent anything for free because I feel like that's the way it keeps me just being as honest as possible. Even if somebody sends me free stuff, I'm still going to tell you the truth if I like it or not, or at least if I think it was made well, even if I don't like it. So all these fragrances right here, I try to do my best to give you my honest thoughts and opinions. I am prone to rambling and talking a little bit too much, but it's my channel, so it's kind of the community I got going on here. But anybody popping through, if you're new here, please, by all means, don't be too shy to ask questions, and I'll do the best I can to give you answers. So with that being said, and thank you guys for being here. I wouldn't be able to do this if it wasn't for y'all hanging out. The one you're going to wear tomorrow, what's that called again, and how do you spell it? Absolutely, buddy. So Club de Nuit. I'll see if I can hold it. I think it's my screen's backwards, but I'm not sure. I'm sorry if it is. Club de Nuit. So CLUBDE, so space DE, and then NUIT. So Nuit, and then Intense Man. Club de Nuit Intense Man by Armaf, and that would be ARMAF. And this is the Pure Parfum edition. So definitely a fantastic choice. I think this bottle, which is a 5 fluid ounce, I think that runs for about $50 or $60. So not too bad, depending on where you buy it from. Excuse me. Iodine Fruit Stripes gum on the opening of 1 Million Elixir. Yeah, you can definitely say that, buddy. Layering Rose Cafe and Ombre Leather Parfum. That's actually a fantastic choice. I actually gave away my Rose for a new one, but Cafe Rose ended up, even though I loved it at first, I did do a review for it. It kind of ended up feeling a little bit basic for me after a while. And a good friend of mine, Maybelline, at my job, she ended up really loving it when I brought it in one day, so I gave it to her as a gift. But it's a fantastic choice, and very much like you said. I might do Roses Greedy by Mancera with Ombre Leather. That might be nice. Shaquem, thanks for asking, buddy. Do I have a favorite Creed fragrance? It's a tie for me personally between Silver Mountain Water and Milsom Imperial. Those are my two favorite Creeds. I'm not a big Creed person, but I give them credit where it's due, and those note profiles are pretty fantastic to me personally. And Gabrielle, no, thank you, buddy. I really appreciate you being here. Paco Urban Pour Homme. I don't remember what that smells like, to be honest with you. I haven't smelled it in a little while, and as always, I try to tell people, I personally, if there's something I don't have a lot of exposure with, if I haven't tested something as well to do a future review with, I don't want to give potentially false information, or be misleading. So, but anybody in the audience or anybody watching in the audience, how pretentious of me to say that. Anybody watching in here in the chat, if you have experience with it, you're more than welcome to assist my buddy here. Oh, Fonzie, Alex Creed's Silver Mountain Water, I returned to Costco because it wasn't doing it for me. Yeah, like I said, it's a nice fragrance. It's not for everybody, though. That's the thing. Kind of like how the other day I was talking a lot about Moschino's Toy Boy. These are definitely those types of fragrances where, they're mass appealing in the sense of this. Like, so this, for instance, is cucumber and pear and rose. Something I absolutely love. It's a fantastic, I hate the bottle, but it's a fantastic overall fragrance profile. This one as well, melon, green tea. It's a beautiful fragrance, but it's not something that just, even though it will appeal to anyone if you walk by, they'll be like, oh, you smell nice. It's not something that just everybody's going to want to wear. So for the price of this one compared to that one's $40. So you're not taking that much of a loss. This one, on the other hand, definitely a little too expensive for people to give a shot. I keep forgetting that Costco sells fragrances. I've never been there and looked at their fragrances before, but I might have to check that out. But yeah, like I said, as always, to people who are sticking around watching more long-term, you're going to have to forgive the fact that I have to be repetitive at times, but I have to be conscientious of new people popping through. So with that being said, anybody who's new coming through, please, by all means, feel no shyness whatsoever about asking questions, and I'll try to help you the best that I can, if possible. The old school Giorgio Armani. I will tell you this. This is one of my also favorite fragrances of all time. I talk about it a lot. Thankfully, recently, as I brought this up, there's been other people enjoying it as well. The Armani Code Parfum is one of the best fragrances. Personally, I'm saying one of the best fragrances ever made. Just throwing it out there. Alex, if you run into someone in the streets that smells great, do you ever ask them what they're wearing? To be honest with you, I've only done that maybe a few times. Reason is this is just a me thing, but already I kind of am always trying to analyze and see people's body demeanor and stuff and see like if they're more receptive of even being approached in the first place as well. I am by no means a tough guy, like in what shape or form, unless I got to protect my family or something. So, but the way I look at times can be, I definitely get looks sometimes with people maybe a little uncomfortable. So I try to be conscientious of that if I just approach strangers. But there have been times, with that being said, where somebody smelled really nice, and I just had, especially when my wife's with me, it's kind of like she's very peaceful looking, so I just kind of get the opportunities in them cases to come up to somebody and say, "Hey, you smell good." It's happened a few times, very recently actually. The clear bottle. I know. Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Thoughts on making my own fragrance with perfumer's base and fragrance oils like candle and soap ones? I make some pretty nice stuff that way. Well, to be honest with you, if you're doing it in a way that I really have to encourage that if you're going to put something on your skin, I'm assuming that you might, I don't know if you are, no offense. If you are, please correct me. I don't know if you are a actual trained perfumer, and I know what you're thinking, why does that matter? It does, though, more than you think, because all of these fragrances right here have been through quality, allergen, and safety checks because the people who make them are full-throttle chemists. You can purchase materials. Like I personally work for a company that provides the stuff, candle making supply company is what I work for. It's a very large company, and we supply our own house-made fragrances. We've got hundreds of them, wax, wicks, jars, all that stuff for people who make candles. In and of itself, though, making candles is one thing, but we're very wary on starting up a section where we allow people to have their own like homemade fragrance kits because, again, just don't want people to have skin allergens. So in and of itself, I tell people to kind of, make sure that you're like trying to at least be very cautious when you're doing that. But if you are, regardless, I don't get to tell people what to do. I think it's awesome if you are trying to make things. That sounds pretty cool. Just wanted to let you know your connection has been a little choppy. Well, thank you for letting me know. In case anybody's having any issues like seeing me or something like that, or hearing what I've got to say, sorry about that. I can only do so much, but I appreciate you guys for stopping through anyway. But yeah, what is your top 5 or top 3 random pick perfume for traveling? That's a tough one. Top 5 for traveling. I guess it would really have to depend where I'm going. I would really love to go, like if me and my wife want to go back to Germany, maybe go to France at some point. By the way, all my buddies out there watching who live in France, if we come out that way, please let me know if you'd be welcoming to meet up perhaps and hang out and say, hey, it's obviously not going to happen anytime very soon, but just saying if it ever happens, we'd love to see you guys if you're willing to welcome us. Or anywhere that we should come. But probably I would bring definitely my Oud Silk Mood. If I went to travel, I'd like to bring my Oud Silk Mood by Maison Francis Kirkjohn. I say I would like to because as expensive as it is, I'm not going to take a chance with it. But I would say, Initio Side Effect would be nice. My Paul Gaultier La Mel Le Parfum, very nice choice to take traveling. The Le Beau Paradise Garden I got back there would be a very good travel fragrance probably to take with me. I'd like just for those nice, beautiful, mysterious evenings to go take an interlude by Amouage. But like I said, I'm a little bit of a little sissy boy wanting to destroy my fragrances. Or like if something accidentally happened to them. So who knows? Imagine if all those suddenly leaked. The smell, I can't imagine. It's really funny that you say that because just yesterday, in my dream of mine, I walked in here to put my clothes on for the day and my shelves all just fell. I'm constantly scared. I want to build up a new shelving space so I can do this more professionally with lighting and stuff. You would think with somebody with the channel that I have, I'd do that kind of stuff by now, but I don't, whatever, sue me. Please don't. But at the end of the day, I thought about what if all these fell in my dream. I saw it and I didn't smell anything in the dream, but oh my God, it'd be horrible. We'd have to like just run away and never come back to the house. Douglas Moon is a good guy. I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you so much. Do you by chance have Lamel Elixir Absolute? I do. And seriously, dude, thank you for saying that. It means a lot to me. Like, I am not saying this to be like a corny streamer guy who just says crap to make you guys feel better. When y'all compliment or when you like tell me that you appreciate the channel or being a part of these streams and stuff, I cherish that. I go talk to my wife about it, and I'm like, hey, call me corny if you want, but I sit there and like sometimes I get a little bit emotional. So I really appreciate y'all so much for the kind things that you say when you do. Thank you. So God bless you, buddy. I appreciate you. But yes, this is the Jean-Paul Gaultier Lamel Absolute, the Elixir. And not my personal favorite. I prefer the original just because the way, again, you know, plum is honestly fig I like. Plum added to fragrances kind of toss them off for me a little bit. Don't know what it is about it. That's just something that just kind of throws it off for me. But it's not a bad fragrance. I just prefer the original personally. But definitely I would say go try it. And some people I know do like this one more. My wife actually did it first, but yeah, it's just not my style. Before I go, thanks for the info, but the one cologne that you have or don't that will get any woman's attention, I would say that there's a bunch of them that could go down that road. But if I had to just give you like one off the top of the head, it's definitely going to be La Mal Elixir or probably something like, again, Versace Eros Parfum. A lot of people for some reason hate it when I bring up Versace sometimes, but Versace Eros Parfum is a monster when it comes to getting some complimented attention. Compliments is excessively rare. Hardly anybody's ever going to actually give you compliments in real life unless you just happen to live in like the nicest place in the world. Okay, so I just want you guys to know that. A lot of these content creators want to tell you guys you're going to get compliments. Compliment is a lie. They're fooling you. It doesn't happen like that, promise you. But if you were going to get them or get someone's attention, probably La Mal Elixir, La Mal Parfum, probably Le Beau, especially Le Beau Paradise Garden, Initio Side Effect, Eros Parfum, stuff like that. As well, the Tom Ford Ombre Leather actually seems to do pretty okay. Every once in a while, people enjoy it. But thank you so much, Gabrielle, for popping through and hanging out and talking. This is really enjoyable finding folks who love fragrance also. Fully baked potato, it is. I absolutely love when you guys come through and get to meet y'all and just become new buddies. That's what I want. Again, if you're new here, sorry if you're not and you hear this repeated all the time, but if you're new here, it means the world to me when you guys hang out and ask questions. So, hello, Capricorn Flower. Happy to see you again, buddy. What is an everyday fragrance that works that's not overwhelming with the smell? Actually, you know, I go back to this one a lot, but it's just because it is an excellent, not just because it's my favorite, it's an excellent suggestion for people in that realm. Jean-Paul Gaultier's La Mal Le Parfum, it's all day lasting for most people, including myself, which is rare, especially because of my eczema. But on the flip side, it's not all day radiant off your skin like Sauvage Elixir or the La Mal Elixir. Instead, it's all day coming well onto your skin as a nice, decent, smooth scent, but it does give decent sillage, especially off of clothing. So got to recommend this bad boy. And probably other than that, I would say, oh, that actually is super strong. Stronger With You Parfum is long lasting, but yet not too radiant. So it's a good long lasting fragrance, but as well, something that doesn't really hit people like a freight train. So thank you, John Castillo, for asking, by the way. Agreed on the Elixir. Made the mistake of wearing that before I went to the gym. Yeah. Yes, it is. Everybody's going to come your way if you wear that and actually like, just people like that when it's very pleasing to the nose. Honestly, even the original, like if you're a younger person, don't want to spend too much, I would recommend save the money and get the Le Parfum edition. But the original Le Mal is a fantastic choice for a lot of people too as an eau de toilette. And hey, like I said, Jonah, thank you, buddy. I appreciate you being here. Maplecade Gaming, any of these flammable? Hopefully not. Well, for the most part, I'd say a large portion of them to some degree or another technically kind of is. Especially because if you think about it being parfumer's alcohol, so to some degree or another, probably so. So we're in trouble, I reckon. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully no villains ever come in here and light a cigar in our closet. Otherwise, me and my wife going to be in a lot of trouble. But what can you do, you know? If they got a cool mustache, I'll let it slide. But yeah, anyways, as I said, anybody popping through here, if you're new, please, by all means, it is my humble joy to welcome you to ask questions about fragrances. And if in any way I can help you, I'm going to do my best to help you. And we'll just talk and hang out, shoot the breeze. If you want to talk about something other than fragrances, by all means. As long as it's not like, you know, something super inappropriate, because youngsters come through here. My husband uses Dove pink soap for his eczema. It works. Thank you, Capricorn, for letting me know that. I'm going to have to try that out. We recently been using Rose Jam by Lush. It's really decent, supposedly like vegan, natural, soapy thing. Been helpful for my skin. I also like putting on Rose Absolute. So if you guys got eczema, definitely put some Rose Absolute on. It'll help you out. What's the bear-shaped one? Oh boy, I'm glad you asked. I hate this bottle. Just going to be completely honest with you. I like playful stuff. We literally saw the new live-action Lilo and Stitch last night. It was a very fun movie. If you don't like it, it's because you're a grumpy little curmudgeon. Just throwing it out there. So, 100%. But this is Moschino's Toy Boy. Again, if you thought the bottle was bad, it gets worse. The name Toy Boy, I'm not a huge fan of that. Me personally, if you like it, no offense, I'm sorry. But the scent of this one is very incredible. That's what I think is so funny, is they chose the dumbest name, horrible bottle, but it's and the smell. The smell doesn't really match the name either, but it's amazing. It's pear, cucumber water, and rose. I love rose. Rose is the fragrance that I'm having made for me personally right now. The top main notes is rose and iris. I love rose. I never thought to add pear to it before, and this is the only one I've got that's like that. I think this is the only fragrance I have basically that's got pear in it. But yeah, Moschino's Toy Boy, super crazy bottle, but the fragrance in and of itself is absolutely phenomenal. Got to recommend it to people. It's $40 too. His doctor recommended it for him. Cool. Well, thank you for letting me know that. I'll definitely have to try it out. Hodlodge Island, surprisingly, is getting lots of attentions too. It comes alive at night too, right? Absolutely. Yes, it sure does. I wear Toy Boy, the black one, and I give the pink one to my daughter. I didn't know there was a pink one. Sorry. That's really cool. Thank you for letting me know that. This bad boy right here, though, yes, Hodlodge's Island. I love personally, again, this is just one of those situations where they nailed it with Vanilla Dunes, just like Liquid Brune. But with this one in particular, this is like excessively fantastic in comparison to Le Beau Le Parfum. But I'd be a liar if I said that this is just one of those situations where a lot of times dupes are always missing that little something. If you're very familiar. Now, if you're not, you won't notice it. But if you're very, very familiar with the originals, you will have those moments where you're like, something's just a little bit different, but it's still perfect for the price range. But, oh man, the original Le Beau Le Parfum, though, is just so nice. And the Paradise Garden has really, really continued to latch itself onto me, and I'm just falling deeper in love with it all the time. But let me see here. Rose, don't they not have scent? Actually, they do. My wife works professionally with flowers, and roses most certainly have fragrances, and especially things like tuberose and so forth. But I will say this, Rose Absolute, if you was to order some, depending on how it was filtered and processed, when it was extracted from the rose in and of itself, it will potentially have either no smell, very light smell, or very nice and strong smell. But if you order one that's been processed a certain way using chemicals, it will remove, like solvents, it will remove the smell, but that's kind of the one that I use for my skin. Really disappointed when I got it and realized it was missing fragrances, but still it is what it is. Let's see here. Douglas, you've got to get Aaron Terrence Hughes Forbidden. I'd love to get those, especially Aaron Terrence Hughes fragrances, but unfortunately, yeah, I'm still having absolutely no way to get them to America. If one of my buddies out there who lives in Europe, if one of you guys was willing at some point or another, somebody that I've talked to on a more regular basis, maybe we know each other, if one of you guys was willing to actually get an Aaron Terrence fragrance for me, doesn't matter if it's like a little travel thingy, and we can, I don't know, somehow try to figure something out that you can ship it to me and I'll pay you whatever. Like, I'm not going to do it right this moment, but if any one of you guys can help me out and do that, I'd really appreciate it. I know it would be kind of expensive, so it'd take a little while to work that out, but I really want an Aaron Terrence Hughes fragrance, but at this moment, they're still not available in the US, and he still hasn't really sorted out his situation with that, so really want to get one, but just can't do it yet. Don't sleep on Vanille Havane. Thank you for letting me know then, Em. I'll definitely check it out. Dog, what does that bottle? It looks like it's supposed to store honey. Are you talking about this one right here? Or are you talking about the bear one that I had a minute ago? This is Hodlodge's Island. This is like a pina colada-ish, strong on the coconut sweet smell. Very fantastic. Any of these using beaver scent? Oh, yeah, okay. You're talking about Castorum. So the only one that I really have that I know for sure features Castorum. Interesting that you know about that, by the way. That actually blows my mind. Not too many people that I interact with. A few people do, but not too many people I interact with knows what that is. But yes, this has Castorum in it. It doesn't really have like that powerful, but it is kind of an animalic fragrance. But overall, if a lot of people are looking for like a decent, not too offensive, but still very oud fragrance. Silver Oud by Amouage. Very nice. Very nice overall. So my buddy who asked one more time, yeah, this is Moschino's Toy Boy. And this fragrance is basically, like I said, pear, cucumber water, and rose. And it actually is a very, very nice fragrance, even though the bottle is like a dog dookie as far as I'm concerned. What's that you got in your hand there? Just got in here. Darian, thank you for popping up, buddy. This is Hod Lodge's Island. So very nice. It's a take on, as you can see up there, somewhere or another, Le Beau Le Parfum by Paul Gaultier. That's what this is, basically, a take on that. Internet historian video about perfume scents. Yes. Whatever you meant by that. Yes, absolutely. The DS part kind of threw me off. That's how I know. Cool. That's awesome. I'm going to have to check that out. I've not seen it, but I definitely want to check that out. I like history stuff, as a lot of you who come through here normally know. What do you think of MFK Gentle Fluidity Gold? What do I think about that? I think it's a masterpiece. But to be honest with you, I think that a large portion of Maison Francis Kirkjohn fragrances are really like perfectly masterly done. They're excessively expensive, but I think they're fantastic. That's how I know. Which JPG is your favorite? Oh, don't even get me started. Which JPG is my favorite? Le Mal, Le Parfum. The iris, the lavender, the creamy goodness. It's my favorite fragrance in the world, to be honest with you. Tied next to, almost tied with the elixir. And then underneath that, Le Beau Le Parfum. Definitely. Let's see here. I just ordered some travel atomizers and syringe kits. You ever use them? I've actually not done that. I've used travel like sample bottles, but I've never personally done anything along those lines. But let me know how that goes when you try it out. Toy Boy comes in black, pink, and blue marine color. That's interesting. I'd like to know how the black and pink actually, oh, excuse me, how the pink and the blue smell. I really didn't like Grand Soir. Well, I will say it's certainly not for everybody. It's in my top 10 favorites. I love Grand Soir personally. It's like to me, it's like the perfect Christmas fragrance. It's a boozy fragrance, very sweet, very dense, very strong as well for an eau de parfum. But I do, when I think about this, when I smell this, this is like reserved almost exclusively for me for Christmas, and I think it's immaculate. But, you know, it's not for everybody. It's just like Baccarat Rouge, you know? It's one of those fragrances that some people really appreciate it. Some people are like, it's not that good. But you know what? That kind of happens with all fragrances. Love Fluidity Gold. Sup, man? Doing a test run today. Got my mind games. Heck yeah, buddy. I hope you like it. Happy to see you, JJ. Very, very happy to see you. I appreciate you guys. Have you ever made your own? John, thank you for asking. I've never made my own like myself. I don't know how to do that, and I would only want something to be made if it was done ethically. But my little buddies over there at the wonderful Sensual Obsessions, they actually have the opportunity. This is their Eagle Star. They have the opportunity themselves, if you go on their website, Sensual Obsessions, scent spelled like scent, like smelling, where you can create your own fragrance. And at this moment, they're making one for me, and I got to pick my notes. So it's really cool. They are professional. They make incredible fragrances. They're all extrait de parfums, but the price is what's awesome because it's like a 30 mil. And it's like $42, something like that, $42, $45 or so after shipping. But you literally, if you do tier 1, you get to choose 6 notes out of this huge list. And then you type in the percentages of how you want them to be compensated, or excuse me, how you want them to be organized into the fragrance's composition. And then they make it for you. It only takes a few weeks. But yeah, so you can also go up another $10 and do another tier and add even more notes if you'd like to. So to me, that was really cool. And I got currently my own personal fragrance I designed the notes for is going to be on the way. So that's exciting. And it's neat that they offer that. What is hold on real quick. Sorry if I'm missing you guys' comments, by the way. I don't mean to. Yo, 08 Fragrances, what's up? Thank you for popping through here. I really appreciate it. Which fragrance would you recommend for the summertime? 100% going to hit you with Jean-Paul Gaultier's Le Beau Le Parfum or Le Beau Paradise Garden. This one I'm actually really digging recently. Just got it not very long ago. My wife loves this one. And this bad boy is aquatic notes with coconut water and sandalwood. And it's like one of the greatest summer fragrances of all time for sure. If you want something a little different though, Armani Code Parfum, Eros Parfum, Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue, especially the new Capri and Love. Fantastic summer choices. What's the blue raspberry looking one? I'm not sure which one you're talking about. Maybe you mean this one? If this is the one, this right here, I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but if it is, this is Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau Intense. The very fantastic, powerful summer fragrance. This one right here is Capri and Love by Dolce & Gabbana, also super fantastic. If you're talking about over here on the lower shelf, just type lower shelf and I'll answer that. Brought my 60-year-old father Club de Nuit. Will he like it? Oh yeah, Pedro. He'll definitely like it, I'm sure. Pink Toy Boy smells like bubblegum? Heck yeah. You got Le Beau EDT. I don't have Le Beau EDT. I have checked it out at Sephora. It's very nice, but I don't personally buy EDTs. Not that, again, for people who want to have something that's very strong but fades quickly, but something you can just splash on, save a little money. Hey, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I personally just tend to stick with eau de parfums, or more specifically parfum concentrations, but I'm just a little sucker about that. Your engagement with the people watching is awesome. You're going to have a tough time doing that when your views get into the hundreds. Well, I'll tell you the truth. I don't really know if there's ever going to come a time when my live streams are going to get into like the hundreds of views, but you know what, if they do, hey, that'd be really awesome. I'll just be thanking God all the way, man. And I just appreciate you guys being here. My goal, in case you're new here, and if you dip out while I babble, that's fine. Totally respect that. I get boring sometimes. My goal is to keep up with each and every person who comes through here the best I can, because my channel wouldn't exist and it wouldn't succeed in any way, shape, or form if it wasn't for you guys. So I have no right, no content creator has a right to be anything other than grateful for people popping through. So that's why I'm here. If you guys, this isn't about me, it's about having a community. So literally, the best that I can, if you guys got questions, it means the world to me that you even ask me, that you even trust me to even try to answer. So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate that. It means the world to me, and I mean it. What do you think about Raban Phantom? It's really nice. And Darian, again, thank you for being here. I appreciate y'all. And so, yeah. And by the way, this right here, this is French Avenues. This is their Azure Oud. So it's their take on Oud Maracuja. Fantastic choice, by the way. But that's all the blue ones for sure. But yeah, Paco Rabanne Phantom, it's a good fragrance. It's not personally my style, but it is very well made for like a nice little over the top, a very nice designer fragrance for younger people. I'm done with the whole bubblegum scent. Yeah, for the most part, I am too. Any hints of orange? You know what? So now that you say that, this baby right here, I know it's not for everybody, but my goodness gracious, if there was ever a fragrance I would recommend to somebody who wants something with orange in it, you don't get hardly no better, for me personally, than Versace's Eros Flame. It's literally the original composition for the most part, with those beautiful sweet vanillic woodsy tones underneath, but it rides dense to the top with blood orange. So it's not just orange, it's a really nice, rich, bright, dark citrus blood orange fragrance. Fantastic. 08 Fragrances, thank you so much. I appreciate you subbing. It means the world to me. Like I said, I cannot thank you. I know I get repetitive and I probably bore the living crap out of you guys, but like, it excites me and gives me joy that you guys even give a crap to be here. So thank you. This dude crop definitely stank. Is that like you mean like when I fart? Legendary chosen one. I don't know what that means, but thank you. I don't know what my crop is. I had to give my brother Dumont Red Nitro. Yeah, I did the same thing, to be honest with you. I didn't give it to my brother or nothing, but I still have the Dumont Red Nitro. But I have realized, like, so let me shoot it straight for y'all. Over here, these guys right here, my dupes and clones I bought. The only reason I kind of started storing up on those was literally because I was like, okay, my channel's growing some more. I already got loads of niche. I've already got loads of designer and so on and so forth. And so many of these I haven't even filmed like actual reviews for yet. But I was like, kind of looking, a friend of mine convinced me, even though I'm an old fella, I'm 32, a friend of mine convinced me you should start doing TikTok as well, since my channel was growing. And I was like, sure. So I started trying to do TikTok videos, and it was fun. But to be honest with you, it really was like sucking the soul out of me to see how fake, just throwing this out there, not trying to be controversial. I'm being honest with you. I've never seen more just salespeople pushing crap on people, like fragrances that I knew personally weren't that great. I cannot stress enough, convincing people, hey, forget about this $200 fragrance right here. Why don't you buy 30 of these $20, 30 of these $40 fragrances right here? They're fantastic, but they're all not really that great. So it made me sick. So I'm not getting on there anymore. I deleted it off my phone. But when I got on there, I saw that they kept pushing these on people. And I thought, well, I know what most of them smell like thanks to other people I'm buddies with, but I might as well have them myself. So that way I can at least be credible for y'all that I've tried them, sampled them, and so forth. But I got so many I ain't even done reviews for yet. It is what it is. You look like you're into Christian rap. Funny you should say that, because I am. I am a Christian, and I like Christian rap. People like Holvey, people like Forrest Frank, they're actually really good. But you know what? It is what it is. Yeah, bubblegum fragrances just ain't doing it for me, buddy. Creed Himalaya is pretty good. It's decent. It's not my style. Do I have Mancera ones? I sure do. I got a whole bunch of Manceras right down here. My personal favorite, as you know, like I said, I love Rose. I got Rose's Greedy. I got Rose's Vanille. But also Cedrat was Intense, Oud Lemon Mint, Oud Blue Note, Cosmic Pepper, Red Tobacco Intense. They're all pretty dang good for what it's worth. One fragrance for life. By the way, once again, I'm sorry if I miss you guys. One fragrance for life, Le Mal Le Parfum. That's probably what I'm going to have to go with. Jean-Paul Gaultier's Le Mal Le Parfum, if I could pick anything to have with me for the rest of my days. Yes, Himalaya. Creed Himalaya is pretty good, but again, too expensive for my personal taste. Can the scent warp after time? So that's a good question. I'm going to go ahead and make this very clear to you. Here's what happens to perfumery if you leave it for a long time. First of all, no direct sunlight. Try to keep things away from humidity. You want them to be in a cool, dark places where you want to store your fragrances. With that being said, they do have an expiration date to some degree. So what that means is the top notes that are put in the fragrances, the ones that burn off the fastest with your body heat, the way that the perfumer designs fragrances is pretty much thusly. If you have your fragrances sitting in a place for an excessively long time without using them, over time, it can be a very long time depending on how the fragrance was made and how dense, what the materials were. But over time, what is composing the top notes will fade, they will deteriorate, and then basically you'll still have your fragrance. It'll still work. It'll be technically heavily macerated. On the other hand, though, when you spray it, you're going to notice right away that it's opening and that fragrance is going to be gone. So again, it takes quite a while for this to happen unless you leave it in too long in direct sunlight or something. But basically, that's just what happens. It'll still be there. You'll still be able to use it. Even if you had a fragrance for like 50 years, you'll still be able to use it and it'll work. It just won't have those openings that it once had. So, do you have any Roja? I do not have any Roja. Jamie Young, absolutely. Praise God. Me personally. If anybody disagrees, hey, that's totally okay. You're all welcome here. What's your honest review on Club de Nuit Sillage? I think it's awesome. It is definitely, compared to the Silver Mountain Water, a bit more synthetic, but mostly just in the opening parts. In and of itself, though, once it sits on the skin, it's fantastic. It does the job. Definitely has as good, well, better performance, basically, for me personally. But yeah, just a little bit more synthetic overall, but because obviously the materials and so forth. But I definitely highly recommend getting Club de Nuit Sillage from most people. Thoughts on Maple, if you store them properly, they will last many years. Yes, they will. What's your honest view? Oh, sorry. Thoughts on Xerjoff 400? I don't know what Xerjoff 400 is. I got a lot of Xerjoffs, but I don't know exactly what 400 is. I'm not sure. No, yeah, definitely don't know which one you're talking about right now. Sorry about that, buddy. But like I said, if I can't answer something, hopefully somebody else can. Okay, this was great. I have to come back. I'm sorry that you got retracted there, but definitely please, like, anytime you want to come back, you're more than welcome to do so. Like I said, just hanging out, trying to have a little community. Sometimes I do different kind of streams. This morning, personally, I did a stream where we just talked about like people who are going through issues with sobriety, talked about definitely like faith for a while, talked about some Bible stuff. But you know what? So again, like, anybody's welcome here. I don't care what who you are, what you believe. You're always welcome here. Not here to argue with anybody. No debates. Just trying to have a nice community where we appreciate fragrances and appreciate life together and share a little love. Do you like Armagh Club de Nuit Limited? I have not smelled that. This has been great. I had to come back spelling errors. Oh, trust me. I use talk to text all the time, and so I have arthritis, and I don't know if you've seen, I mess around with stuff a lot. I'm fidgeting with my hands a lot. It's because my hands are like constantly sore, and sitting still for too long actually makes them hurt. Good old manual labor for too many years in your younger years will do that to you, especially super hard, like little bits of stuff. But yeah, basically, for me, I don't type very well at all. So how's the performance on Vulcan Few? And hello, Brenda. Thanks for coming through and asking, is Vulcan Few worth the hype? So as two people back to back asking, and I'm glad that you asked, because to be honest with you, no, it's not worth the hype. Again, I'm not sponsored by anyone. Cannot stress that enough. I'm Douglas Moon Fragrance. This is my channel. And my whole thing is just to tell you guys, like, I want to shoot it straight with you because I'm sick to death of content creators bullcrapping you guys. Because you guys are spending your hard-earned money. I don't care if you like buy a $20 fragrance. It's still $20 that you didn't have to spend. This is not that cheap. I paid $50 for this when it first came out direct from the retail, from Fitch Avenue. On the other hand, I have people who come through here and told me they spent $70 to get a bottle of this, and that makes me really angry because this smells nice, okay? In comparison to God of Fire, it smells decent. Just like Malachite, by Scepter Malachite by Maison Alhambra. Just want you to know, this does not perform well at all. It just doesn't. Like, it makes me so angry, and I think you probably all know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to say names, but way too many bullcrap TikTok creators have been saying this is a monster and pushing this on people so that, once again, they're sponsored. They get paid from you guys wasting your money. So it smells nice. If you like the smell, Sure. But in and of itself, this stupid crap about it being a beast mode, it is not. I'm sorry. It's not. I've had this since it basically came out, tried it a lot before I was even willing to say anything. I give the smell credit. It sticks to the skin for multiple hours, is a very intimate skin scent as far as it goes. I've tried this a lot, and a lot of people around me and my coworkers and stuff don't smell a thing coming off of me. And I let a couple other people try it multiple days, same experience. Like it really doesn't have good performance. So please, just know before you buy it, it's very overhyped, like most of those dupes and clones are. Smells decent, not worth the money. Just throwing that out there. So I've heard, I haven't tried the other one. Was it Mango Bliss? Tried to order it. They couldn't get it to my house 3 or 5 times. So can't tell you if that one's any good or not, but just let you know. Do you have Coffee Break by Zerjoff? I do not. I do not. Yeah, and by the way, please don't spend $80 for that stupid crap. Please, Rory, I'm just throwing this out there. Do not. Brenda, hello. Thank you for coming through. And I'm sorry if I sound like a super hater, okay? I'm sorry if I sound like a douchebag either when I get passionate about that stuff. But like I said, it means a lot to me that you guys don't waste your money on something. So again, it doesn't like it makes me angry that people in the fragrance community can't be honest about stuff, because we're supposed to be here appreciating fragrances, not, hey, look at me, I get 20 cents if some turd from somewhere else buys this thing or whatever that ain't no good, and they waste their hard-earned money when they could have just saved it and got something way better. So definitely just want you guys not to do that. Please don't buy Vulcan for you if you can help it. I love other French Avenue fragrances, don't get me wrong. That one in particular, definitely not worth it. I did like Versace Eros Flame. Smells sweet orange and vanilla and dry down. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's nice. Thank you for being here as always, my buddy. What's a good coffee fragrance? So, excuse me, sorry. Cafe Latte. So Amore Cafe by Mancera. Very fantastic fragrance. But, Hod Lodge, the company that makes Vanilla Dunes, they've got one called Cafe Latte. I gave it away. It wasn't for me. It was a little too rich. But it's a very sweet, creamy coffee fragrance. I don't know, like, personally off the top of my head, I've smelled, but I can't remember when I was at that niche fragrance shop. So I'm like pure coffee bean type scents, but definitely Amore Cafe by Mancera is a pretty good one to go with. Do you have Paco Rabanne Pure XS? I do not, Sebastian. I'm really sorry. If anybody here in the chat, though, can help my buddy here, please do. I have Opulent Oud on the way by Lattafa. I haven't tried that one, but I do know Lattafa does make some good fragrances. Bro, the other day, you broke your record, most likes on a live stream. How many did you end up getting that day? Overall, that day, it was 66, something like that. So made me pretty excited. I love you guys coming through doing these live streams. And again, I encourage you guys, if you're willing to do so, if you like hanging out and talking with me, please hit the like button. It definitely helps a lot. It's very helpful, so I appreciate you guys. What's your dream car? I don't know. I never really thought about that before, except for like when I was much younger. I used to want the car like Sam and Dean had on Supernatural. What was it, like a 69 or 67 Impala, something like that? But at this point, like, I'm really not sure if I could like choose any car, what would I probably really want? To be honest with you, just like a nice Hyundai, something simple but last really well. Something like that would probably make me happy. Nothing crazy. What's your dream car, by the way? Thanks for asking. Intoxicated by Killian got a nice coffee note. Thank you, JJ. Tony asked, how do you apply your fragrances? I'm sorry I didn't see. Who asked that? Where's Tony at? I'm sorry that I missed you there, buddy. But I will say, oh, there you are. I'm so sorry, Tony, that I didn't see your comment earlier. So how do I personally apply fragrances? So I will do, this is what I wore today, working through this bottle of the Vanilla Dune. So I'll just show you what I do. This has got a decent atomizer, as you can see. So I'm not going to do nothing too crazy. But for almost every fragrance that I use, I typically do the pulse points, back of the neck. My wife likes to do a little bit on the hair. It's not for everybody. Your hair might, potentially not do well with it. Hers is fine. And then both shoulders. You can do the center of the chest, but you will go nose blind to it quite a bit faster if you do that. So I do dink, 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 and then both shoulders. And then because when I'm testing something so I can really get my honest thoughts for a review, I'll do a good one on the arm, maybe on the hand, something like that. But for the most part, pulse points, back of the neck, 2 sides of the shoulders is how I normally spray. But that's just me personally. A lot of fragrances, you'll definitely have to kind of go above and beyond if you really get that performance out of it. Do you like Lattafa Fakar? Not me personally. I know what it's supposed to be. It's, by the way, just a quick one. If you guys do want to know a really nice cheaper one, though, cheaper, it's like $40, $50. Arabia Prestige is Mad Al Dahab. This one actually really surprised me. I really like that one a lot. But I have all 3 of the Lattafa Fakar series, and I will say the gold one I really like. I don't know what the difference of the name is, The original, though, I know is supposed to be like a YSL type fragrance. I just will say it's not really my style, but that's just me personally. Behind the Knee 2. I don't know what that is. Oh, yeah, you got to spray a little in behind the knee, right? This actually has become a nice little ditty that I've been enjoying quite a bit here recently. I know it's supposed to be like lychee and rose and a couple other things. So Hod Lodge, who makes Vanilla Dunes and Island, they made Rose Couture. It's supposed to be a woman's fragrance, of course, as they say. But you know I love rose. By the way, you see me spraying multiple things in this room. It's okay. It's something that I do on a regular basis. I'm used enough to it that my nose can handle multiple fragrance profiles. I wouldn't do that if you're trying to do a real review, but like, this is a very powerful fragrance, and I love this one. I haven't worn it a lot, but I'm about to start doing it more often. Rose Couture. If you're looking for something that's like actually decent, very strong rose fragrance, but has like a lychee feel. If you want that real, true garden rose type deal, though, oh man, this one's absolutely beautiful. Roses Greedy by Mancera is one of the best things I've ever personally smelled, as far as that's considered. And Rose Incense by Amouage. I feel you. Wasn't really my style either. Gave it to my little cousin and he loves it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there are so many of these cheaper fragrances like that are super hit or miss. And it just, you'll know when you have them that so many of them were made in a rush. That's the best way I can put it. Like, a lot of people ask me about After 9 p.m. What do I think about After 9 p.m.? I think that it is very, 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 very mediocre. It is gummy, like bubble gummy, childish, teenage boy, 14 years old. If you like it, I mean no offense, because that's totally okay. If it's your thing, like I like fragrances other people don't like at all. That's fine. But I'm just saying, like, some of those cheaper fragrances, like, you can smell that they're cheap. No, now there are some expensive ones that smell cheap too. So no offense in general, but I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, sometimes you get your hands on stuff and it's just like the composition and the artistry behind it is just very much like showing. Whereas if you was to get yourself a bottle of L'Homme Ideal Extreme by Guerlain, you're going to know right away, wow, this is nice. This was made very well. What Aaron Terrence Hughes would you like to try the most? I really want to try Hard Candy Elixir. I really want to try Onyx, probably. And I can't remember the name of this one that he's got. He's got a fragrance. Like, he, like me, really loves rose. And I know he's got a fragrance that's very heavily rose-based, but I can't remember which one it is. But if I was to get an Aaron Terrence Hughes fragrance, I'd probably go for definitely Hard Candy Elixir or something like that. Bro, that's the fragrance game. It's subjective. It certainly is. Do you like oud? If you do, which one's good performance? So I'm not personally a huge fan of oud myself. I like it in certain things. I love it when it's blended underneath rose. But I will say this. If you're talking about for a budget, that's tough. Is that what you said? Oud for a cheaper budget? All the oud fragrances that I own are definitely at a higher price point. Specifically things like Hayat by Xerjoff. That's going to run you, even on a discount, I think you're looking at like $170, something like that. Again, something like Silver Oud by Amouage. Very nice as a choice. Oud Silk Mood is also something that's my favorite personal fragrance. It's oud with rose and like a medicinal lavender rosy feel. But again, these are all like excessively expensive fragrances, so I don't really know too many that I could give you guys that's like a little on the cheaper price. Super happy once again, like I said, to have you guys here. Marco, it's such a blessing to catch you live. Hey, it's a blessing to have you here, buddy. Montrese, super happy to see you. I appreciate y'all so much. Have you tried Golden Dala and Oud? And so the other day when I was actually, I'm glad that you said that. I've been seeking a coffee fragrance lately. I'm glad you said that because those were at the store at the when I went to La Perfumerie. Did not try those though. I tried the new Torino 24. I got to re-smell La Capitale, and there's a handful of like shooting stars and all that stuff. Very nice. Did not get to smell those other ones though, but there's so much going on, especially when I got to the Maison Crivelli section. Eternal Oud is not too bad. You're right. I keep forgetting about that, which is interesting because the bottle, like I said, all my buddies at work call this the Elden Ring bottle. So just tooting my own horn, but I beat Elden Ring twice. I know that doesn't matter to you youngsters, but as a 32-year-old, I'm proud of that. But anyway, this definitely, everybody calls this the Elden Ring bottle, and this is actually a really nice choice. I don't know why I forgot, but yeah, Eternal Oud by Lattafa if you want something that's a little bit cheaper. Torino 24 was too feminine for me, not a fan. Marco, I definitely agree with you there. So 23 is always going to be my favorite. My wife loves 22, but the new 24, she really loved that one as well, but it was definitely not personally my style. I've got Golden Dala. It's nice. Heck yeah, I might have to try that out. When I get the chance, I'm going to go back by that store and give it a shot. Well, with all that being said, you guys, oh yeah, this is actually really nice. I never played it, but I do know it's difficult to beat. It really was, but it was also a whole bunch of fun. With that being said, it is that time that I go relax with my wife and we watch a little bit of TV together. So I really appreciate you guys popping through. For anybody who actually, let's see if anybody wants to. No, I was going to let somebody else introduce it this time, but for anybody who doesn't know, I'm not a pushy person about this kind of stuff, but I'm a Christian. I welcome people of all walks of life, all beliefs and stuff to my channel, and nobody's like shut out here. But at the end of my streams, I pray. If you're not okay with that, you're totally more than welcome to go. Like, you know, you don't have to be here. That's fine. If you like the content and you want to just hang around, maybe think of some questions while I pray for everybody, you can still continue to type. It's no problem whatsoever. So please feel free. If you just want to type and ignore the prayer, you're welcome to do so. But I'm praying for you too anyway. But like I said, at this point, I kind of realized recently, you know what? I don't know if my channel is ever really going to start paying me. I don't know, even if it did, if I'm really going to get that lot out of doing this. So I don't really have anything to lose by just being even more and more like deeply just true to the core of me and like expressing things that mean a lot to me. So I don't mean like I'm going to start evangelizing you guys and pushing religion on y'all or nothing. I just mean that I'm going to continue to talk about fragrances with y'all because that's what this channel is all about, but also start being a little bit more open just about myself and giving more love and care to you guys. So with that being said, thank you, Darian, for coming through. Thank you, Marco, especially as always for being here. But this is the part where I'm going to pray with y'all. And as well, you guys can pray with me if you want to. So thank you, Heavenly Father, for all these amazing people who stopped through in this chat. It means the world to me. Even if just one person stuck with me this whole hour and we just shot the breeze, it means the world to me. But you let people come through from everywhere and all different walks of life. And it means so much to me. I just get to have this time. I thank you, Lord, for sustaining me, for sustaining these incredible, beautiful souls who are watching. I have zero idea what they're going through, if they're going through anything at all, like strenuous right now. I have zero idea what their life is like, what it's all about, but I know that they're people, and they come from you. You created these beautiful souls, and they have so much purposes in this world, and I hope they come to know that. They come to know that there's more than just whatever struggles they're going through. So I pray that they just find peace, that they come to know you and have that beautiful peace and grace in their life, Lord, and to come to know who they really are and get to have those experiences just every day, to being able to cherish even through the good times, the bad, the pain, and the beauty. Lord, I love you with all my heart, and I thank you for my wife, my kids, and my family, and just the beautiful art perfumery as always. I can't believe I get to connect people out there through this. So thank you, Father. Thank you, Jesus, in your precious name. Like I lift all these people up to you and just ask you bless their lives and pull them close and just show them your ways. So in the name of Jesus, thank you, Lord. Amen. Bless all these people. So like I said, thank you. Real quick, let me read this. Being your authentic self is your best reward. You're absolutely right, buddy. Like I said, it's not like I watered anything down before, but I 100% was like, you know what? I guess I might as well go all in. There's some stuff I wanted to kind of do, but I was like, I know nobody's going to enjoy this. Some people might, but I was like, what if I did like some actual like Bible study on camera? But I was like, no, at the end of the day, this is a fragrance channel, and I probably would really like not have people really even care. Like I could do it. I don't think anybody's really going to watch. But I'm new into fragrance. A couple designers, one niche, Mancera. I would like to know, should I keep collecting Manceras, or would you suggest another affordable niche company? Thank you for coming through, buddy. Personally, I would say that if you're able to get Manceras, they are really good choices to kind of work yourself into a little, they got a little something for everything in that company. If you're looking for like that level of affordability, but you still want them to be niche, I guess technically like French Avenues or Hot Lodge, something along those companies, or going to like Sensual Obsessions. You can go to their website and for, you know, between $30 and $45 or so, get yourself some decent, for Rayhan as well, make some good stuff. So something along those lines. F9, you can get good, very good fragrances for them for decent prices. So something along those lines would work out for you. But Mancera definitely makes a lot of really wonderful stuff. But yeah, like I said, I appreciate y'all so very much. Like, God bless each one of you guys, and it really does mean the world to me. And if you guys would ever like to do something like that, have a I don't know, if anybody here would ever like to have a little bit of a Bible study time or something, please let me know. I'm more than happy to do that with you again while we do this. I love wild cherry. I haven't tried wild cherry yet. That's something I've been very interested in. Maybe the rose one from Aaron Terrence Hughes is Onyx Extreme. That might be it. That might be it. Thank you. Love your content. Thank you, Ligma. Your name's funny, by the way. That's really funny to see. But I really appreciate you so much for stopping by and even asking questions. But yeah, the wild cherry one, I definitely have to check that out. And Marco, all right, then. I think we might have to do that. I'm not going to do it tonight because I think I'd like to have like a general core. I used to have a long time ago. Me and my buddy used to have an actual ministry, and we would like go speak at churches and stuff for a while. And I also was doing it on YouTube, and that was pretty fun. But I lost access to that account a long time ago because I literally just lost like the information, and I couldn't get signed back in, and I didn't have a recovery phone. So pretty much like I said, I was going to start another channel, but I realized like, wait a minute, I got too much going on family-wise to do that. So I also, yeah, like I said, just don't want to be like too pushy and make people feel like they can't be comfortable here if they're not into it or whatever. But at the same time, still want to just be me and express what means the world to me. And truth is, other than fragrances, like my family, my wife and stuff, my faith is like everything to me because, you know, I literally wouldn't be here today if it wasn't without it. What's the best niche brand? Definitely for me personally. It could change one day. Probably not just due to overall variety for what you get and quality, but Xerjoff's definitely up there. After that, I kind of stick with Amouage. But then again, if you think about Mind Games, Maison Crivelli, like Une Nuit Nomade, like there's so many really, really good ones out there, but I just haven't had enough to connect with them just yet. So I can't fully say what would be second place, third place on that stuff, other than Amouage for me because I've had a lot of experience and exposure to it. But definitely Xerjoff is my absolute favorite niche brand of all. Also really want to recommend people if you'd like a good Oudi type of regal fragrance, definitely Jubilation by Amouage. But anyway, like I said, I appreciate y'all so much to everybody who stopped through here. It's meant the world to me, but I am getting super tired. So God bless each and every one of you guys. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. You don't have to come through here, but you do. And you ask questions, so it brightens my day. So I will be seeing you guys next time. And is there one more or any more questions y'all want to ask before I go? So Xerjoff has the best quality in perfumery. I mean, that's just, again, my personal take. They're not like the absolute best house of all in like all of perfumery, maybe necessarily, because again, that's subjective. It'd be just my thoughts. But I would say to have the widest variety from a single fragrance house and they all be fantastic, even if they're not your style, they're all fantastic. That's my personal, like what I say. But King Sword, thank you, buddy. Thank you for being here. But yeah, all right. Well, I've been really having fun talking to you guys. And please, please, please go take the time if you're willing to. If you enjoy the channel, go watch my other videos. If you had a good time, please go check out my other actual like review videos and watch them as long as you're willing to, and leave a comment and like them and stuff. And I'll see you guys later. And definitely be back potentially Sunday morning.